Well, I'd hate to be the commencement speaker and follow that. Sorry, Christopher. But I'm now going to move on and introduce the commencement speaker for this evening, Dr. Christopher Avery. Dr. Avery was a student on the Ashtabula campus in the mid-1970s, at which time he was very active in student life on the campus, and I'm sure he credits his active participation on campus during his college years for the development of the skills that have made him so successful in his career to date. Dr. Avery is a popular speaker and the author of several noteworthy publications in the area of leadership, teamwork, and change. Following his 2 years on the Ashtabula campus, Christopher went on to earn his doctorate from the University of Texas at Austin. He currently resides in Texas with his wife Amy and his sons Tom and John. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Avery back to the Ashtabula campus of Kent State University.
Well, honored guests, distinguished faculty, all of you very important family and friends, and you guys, I have a lot to say to you tonight, but I'm going to make it short. So, first of all, it's really fun to be back in Ashtabula. I don't think I've been here in a dozen years, and I'm having a ball being here, and I have one of my sons with me, and it's a lot of fun. What I want to talk with you about tonight is a habit that I did not develop until a little later in life, speaking of old men, and it's a habit that I now teach all of my clients, and it's a habit that I instill when I'm coaching my clients in corporations around the world. And I call the habit simply claiming wins, claiming a win. I define a win as an intention met. An intention met simply means that you had an intention to do, be, have, or get somewhere or something, and it happened. And so if the intention is met, then that makes it a what? A win. And I want to tell you why this is an important habit. You've been taught your whole life delayed gratification. You've been taught maybe it's not big enough to celebrate it yet. Maybe you're not done yet. Maybe there's more you could do. And we go into meetings in the workplace, and what do we focus on? We focus on problems. And what I've learned is that whatever we focus on, we get more of. So in the workplace, we filter for or focus on problems, and what do we get? We get more problems. Now, how many of you would like to be on a winning team? Yeah. Well, if you're focusing on problems, how are you going to be able to look at your teammates and see winners? And so, if instead we focus on wins, then we get more wins. It's a funny kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But there's an even better reason. And that is that when the spirit doesn't recognize a win, the spirit says, well, why'd I even bother having that intention? And the spirit sinks. And every time we go past a win without claiming it, the spirit sinks a little bit more. And my own story about this was many, many years ago. I had reached many of my goals. I was the president of a successful business. I had a great young family, beautiful house in Austin, Texas. I was out jogging with a friend, and I shared with him that I just happened to be in kind of a blue funk, and I'd been in it for a couple of months. And bless his heart, he said to me, Christopher, have you gone by a win? That's a strange thing. Have you gone by a win? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, have you gone past a win without realizing it? And at that moment, I saw in my mind a professor that I had had. And that professor had a little bit nicer clothes than other professors, and a little bit nicer car, and a little bit extra pocket change to buy beers for graduate students. And I remember thinking that the reason he had this extra pocket change and this nicer car was because he was a business consultant. And I remember thinking, I want to be just like him. And what had happened was 10 years later, I had become just like him, but I hadn't stopped and claimed it. I didn't realize it. And at that moment, I realized that I had some claiming and some celebrating to do. And that's when I started learning about the power of wins and the power of claiming wins. So if I could take just a couple minutes, I'd like to ask you, does anybody here have a win to celebrate tonight? Anybody, you know? Has anybody here had an intention for 2 or 3 or 4 or 6, 8, 10, 15 years to get to this place tonight? Has anybody given up a new car, a vacation, a new TV, or any other significant thing in order to get here tonight? No? Has anybody driven a very long distance day in and day night in order, day in and day out in order to get to this place tonight? Yeah. And let me ask some of you, do any of you have any wins to claim tonight? Do you have any intention for these people to get to this place here tonight, that you supported them? You might have worked some extra shifts, also gave up that new car, didn't get that new TV, didn't go on vacation, right? Didn't get the nicer house, didn't rent the better apartment, okay? Paid that extra tuition bill you didn't expect to pay, and paid that extra bill for the breaks you didn't expect to. Anybody fulfill any intentions by doing all of those things over 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 25, 30 years? Right? That you have some wins to claim tonight? Right? So, yeah, so, you know, the way I like to do is just make a little fist and go, yeah, right? You know that fist pump thing? So, I want you to think of tonight, I want you to think of a time that you feel 100% successful, and I want you to make that little fist, and I want you to go, yeah. Right? Can you do that with me? Make that little fist, right? Think of a time 100% successful like tonight, and go, yeah, 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 not bad. And how about you guys? Do you have any wins to claim? Have you been day in, day out, figuring out how to support these people coming to your classes, right, and getting to this place tonight? You have any wins to claim? Yeah, you got a fist? Yeah. All right. So what it's taught me is to don't let any met intention, no matter how small, go by without recognizing it. So you can just celebrate it at the level of the intention, you know? And if you do that every day, you'll learn what it means to be a winner. But if you continue to put it off because you haven't won big enough yet, you might never get to that place. So thank you very much. Good luck to you. I know that you have a lot of celebrating to do tonight. I know that you do too. So thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Avery, for the speech. It's my honor to, you want to come up? It's my honor to present you with the Roger T. Beitler Award. This award was established by the Ashtabula Faculty Council to honor former students who have made significant contributions to their respective vocations, and clearly you are very deserving of that recognition. So.
Thank you so much.